Join Kids Hut family. Our gardener is so rude. I am never going to talk to him again. Maybe you should try to be nicer to him, Tofu. Perhaps he has no friends and feels lonely. Yes, he doesn't talk to anyone. Hence, he has no friends. Why would anyone talk to someone who doesn't talk to them? That's not what Heidi did. Who is Heidi? Heidi. There lived a little girl called Heidi. She lived with her aunt in the village. Once it happened that Heidi's aunt had to go to the big city for work. She would be gone for a long time. So she decided to leave Heidi with her grandfather, who lived alone on the mountain. Heidi's grandfather, a carpenter named wasn't a friendly person because of some experience in his past. He didn't like to talk to anyone, and that is why he lived all the way up in the mountains. And now Heidi had to live with him. Bye-bye, Heidi. Be a good girl. Bye, Auntie. Hello. My name is Heidi. Heidi waited a while, hoping that her grandfather would talk to her. When she realized he wasn't going to, she decided not to disturb him, and instead she went out to see the mountainside. She had never seen such vast lands of green. She fell in love with her new home immediately. She lay down next to a bed of daffodils under the open sky and smiled to herself. That's when she heard the goats with bells around their neck. Oh, hello. Where did you come from? I brought them here to feed, like I do every day. Where did you come from? Hello, my name is Heidi. I have come here to stay with my grandfather. Hello, Heidi. My name is Peter. Old Grandpa is your grandfather? He often helps us with furniture and maintaining the barn. In turn, my grandmother bakes bread for him. You live here with your grandma, is it? Can I meet her? Yes, come with me. And so Heidi went with her new friend to his house to meet his grandmother. Peter's grandmother was very loving, and although she was blind, she loved to talk and cook. She was very happy when Peter told her about Heidi. Oh, that's wonderful. Come here, dear Heidi, and give me a hug. Are you hungry? Well, come, I will make you some special soup. Heidi spent the rest of the day at Peter's house and learned how to make special soup from his grandmother. Heidi asked her if, like Peter, she too could call her Granny, and she was delighted when she agreed. When it was evening, she said goodbye to them and went back to her grandfather's house. When she reached there, he was still working in his workshop. So Heidi went into the house. Sometime later, Heidi called out to him, "Dinner time, grandfather! Come, let's eat together." Old Arm looked up in surprise. No one had made dinner for him in decades. He closed his workshop for the day, washed up, and went to eat. Heidi had made the lovely soup she had learnt from Granny. They ate in silence. And although her grandfather liked the soup very much, he didn't say anything. When dinner was done and the kitchen had been cleaned up, they both went out in the yard and sat under the stars quietly. After some time, Heidi started feeling sleepy, and so she kissed Arm goodnight and went to sleep. Arm had not experienced so much love in many years, and so he sat there with tears in his eyes for a long time. Next morning, by the time Heidi got up, her grandfather was already in his workshop. She decided to go and be with him. "Good morning, grandfather." Heidi knew she wouldn't get an answer, so she decided to make herself busy. She swept the workshop, filled fresh water in Arm's jar, and to surprise kissed him and went out to feed the hen. When it was about afternoon, she served a lunch of mashed potatoes which she had learnt to make from her aunt. Later, she went to Peter's house to spend time with Granny and returned in the evening to serve dinner. This went on for many days. Every morning and night, she would kiss her grandfather on the cheek and wish him. She would clean his workshop and fill fresh water in his jar. All this love and care that Heidi gave him changed Arm's behavior. He loved having Heidi around and enjoyed it very much when Peter and Granny came by to visit her. One day, upon Heidi's insistence, he even took her to the village. They bought a pair of shoes for Heidi. On the way back, they bought candy floss. Throughout the trip, Arm laughed and played with Heidi. All the villagers were surprised to see this change in the old carpenter. 2 years went by, and Heidi and Arm were very happy in each other's company. Till one day, Heidi's aunt returned. She wanted to take Heidi with her to the big city. The man whose office she worked in had a daughter, Clara, who couldn't walk. Clara always needed a wheelchair to go anywhere. Hence, she had no friends. Clara's father wanted Heidi to be Clara's friend. "Grandfather, tell her I do not wish to go. I want to live here with you." But Arm didn't say anything. He knew that Heidi would have a much better life in the big city. And so Heidi left her grandfather, Peter, Granny, and the mountainside to live in the big city. She was straight away taken to the mansion where Clara lived. There she met Clara's father. He was a very kind and loving gentleman who loved Clara very much, but often had to travel a lot for business. During these times, he left Clara in the care of her grandmother and a rather stern housekeeper. "Hello, Heidi. I am Clara's father. I wanted to thank you for coming here. I am sure you will like living here with Clara. If you ever need anything, please let me know. Now come, I will take you to Clara's room." When they entered Clara's room, Heidi saw a beautiful girl, maybe 2 years elder to Heidi, sitting on a wheelchair. She was very pretty, but she was frail and seemed sad. The housekeeper pushed the wheelchair forward towards Heidi. "Clara, this is Heidi. She will live with us now. I will see you both in the evening now. Bye-bye." Saying so, he and Heidi's aunt left to attend their business. For a while, Heidi didn't know what to say to Clara. "My friend Peter has many goats. Sometimes I can't make out whether he controls the goats or they control him." Hearing this, Clara also broke into giggles, and Heidi immediately knew that they were going to be very good friends. She started spending her whole day with Clara. She would tell her many tales of the mountains, while Clara would tell her about the different cities she had stayed in after her mother had passed away. While the housekeeper was very stern and always stopped the girls from enjoying themselves too much, Clara's grandmother was very nice. She even taught Heidi how to read. Everybody who met Clara now noted how happy she looked. One day, the girls went out to the market. As Heidi pushed the wheelchair forward, she saw a vendor selling daffodils. She was immediately reminded of home, her grandfather, Peter, and Granny. When they came back from the market, Clara asked Heidi, "Wasn't today fun, Heidi? What do you think of my new bracelet?" "Yeah, it's lovely." And so it went from that day. Heidi didn't want to play or sing with Clara, and she wouldn't read with Clara's grandmother. She wouldn't even eat unless was forced to. She would just keep doing her work quietly. She missed her home terribly, and her heart broke every time she looked out of the window and saw buildings and towers instead of mountains and sky. This went on till one day she felt terribly ill. Clara's father called the doctor right away. "Well, I am afraid she is homesick. She misses home. No medicine or treatment can make her better unless she goes back. I will immediately make arrangements to send her home." True to his word, Clara's father made sure that Heidi was back in the mountain at her grandfather's house in 2 days. Just the news of going back home had made Heidi feel better. And when she reached her grandfather's home, she ran to him and hugged him. Even Am was very happy to have Heidi back. "I am never going away, grandfather." "You don't have to." "Grandfather, this is Clara. She is my friend from the city. She has come to stay with us for a few days. And that is Clara's father." As the two men shook hands, Peter came over. The children were very excited to see each other. "You must be Peter. Heidi has told me all about you. You must take me to your granny." Yes. Come, I will push your chair. Granny would love to meet you." After some time, Clara's father said goodbye to everyone. He would come back in few weeks to take Clara back to the city. The children waved him goodbye. In the next few days, the children had a lot of fun. Peter and Heidi would take Clara along with them everywhere. Peter would pluck fresh fruits for them, and they even showed her how to milk a cow. With the good food, air, environment of the mountainside, Clara grew stronger. So much that she even learned to walk by herself. Soon it was time for Clara's father to come and take her away. When he came, she surprised him by walking up to his carriage. "Oh, my darling, I am so happy." As they left, everybody was happy. There was no sadness in anyone's heart. "Bye-bye. I will visit you soon." "I will too. Goodbye. Take care." So you see, Tofu, when you are kind and loving towards someone, you can change their whole life. Yes, Tia. Thank you for teaching me this valuable lesson. Perhaps I will take some chocolates for the gardener. It was Miss Pine's last day at school today. Yes, I'm going to miss her too. She was very nice. Yes, and she gave all of us from class little souvenirs to remember her by. Really? Wow! What did you get? That's the thing. She gave everyone toys or fancy stationery. all she gave me was this empty diary. So, what's wrong with it? What will I do with a diary? All the kids were showing me their lovely gifts and I felt so bad. I think you need to know about the miller's son who got a cat from the miller. Once upon a time, there lived a miller who had 3 sons. When the miller was dying, he left his mill to his eldest son, his donkey to his second son, and for the youngest son, he left his pet cat. The 2 elder brothers could use the mill and the donkey for trade and earning money. But the cat had no use for them. So they kicked the youngest brother and his cat out of their home. One day, when the 3rd son was sitting with his cat, the cat said to him, "Master, don't worry, everything will be fine." "How will that be?" "Can you get me a pair of shoes and a bag?" "I have very little money left, but I have never seen a talking cat before, so I trust you." And so the master bought the cat, the boots, and the bag. The cat happily took it and went into the nearby forest. There, he found a rabbit hole. He put the bag to the mouth of the hole. As soon as the rabbit came out, he got caught in the bag. The cat quickly tied its mouth and took it to the master. "Master, I have brought you a rabbit for dinner. Let me cook it for you." The cat quickly cooked delicious dinner for his master. Once they were done, he went back to the rabbit hole. There, he caught one more rabbit. He took this rabbit to the king's palace. "Your Majesty, my Lord Marquis of Caraba has sent you a gift."
"Thank you, Puss, and thank the Marquis for me."
The cat continued to do this for many days. One day, it heard about a nasty ogre that everyone was scared of. The cat went to meet him. "Hello."
"What are you doing here?"
"Oh, I just came to see why everyone is scared of you." "I don't see any reason."
"Don't you know who I am? I can kill you right now."
"I don't think so." You don't really have the power.
I have the power to take any shape I want. I can become a lion and strike you.
Ha ha! I am not scared of lions. I am only scared of rabbits.
Well, here it goes then.
As soon as the ogre turned himself into a rabbit, the cat pounced on him and killed him. The next day, he requested his master, "Master, please go and bathe in the lake outside the forest. I request you." The master agreed. As he was taking a bath, the cat stole the master's clothes and hid them. Then he ran to the highway and waited for any carriage to pass. As soon as he saw the king's carriage pass, he called out, "Help! Your Majesty, my master is in the lake, but someone stole his clothes. I don't want him to catch a cold. Please help." The king recognized the cat who had been bringing his master's gifts to him every day and stopped immediately. He sent his man to retrieve some clothes from the castle and took them to the master. They gave the clothes to the third son, who looked very handsome in them.
Ride with my daughter and me, Marquis of Caraba. We will take you to your place of stay. Thank you, my lord.
The cat sat in front with the driver, while his master sat with the king and his daughter in the back. He showed the driver the way to the ogre's castle and told him to take them there. Once they had reached, the cat got down and opened the door of the carriage. "We are home, master."
Yes, dear Puss. Thank you.
The king was impressed by the third son's humility and manners. He decided to get his daughter married to him. The young couple happily agreed, and they lived happily ever after. So the cat that everybody thought was of no use was extremely useful and changed everything for the third son. Exactly, Tofu. I am going to keep this diary close to me always and use it to write great stories. I am happy for you. Hey Tofu, what are you up to? Nothing much. Just watching TV. Oh, cool. Are you done with your homework already? We didn't have much homework today. We just have a research assignment. I'm impressed. So you finished your research work so soon? Oh no, I haven't. It's a big assignment, so we have to do it in pairs. My partner is Kate. She's really good with research, so I passed it all off to her. She will write the paper and bring it tomorrow. I don't know what to say, Tofu. You can say which game you want to play. How about I tell you a story instead?
Oh, I love your stories. Please tell me one.
This one is about the horse and the donkey, where the horse doesn't bother to help the donkey. Once upon a time, there was a poor washerman. All he had was a donkey and a horse. He would use the donkey to carry the load of clothes from the village to the river and back. While he would use the horse for himself to go wherever he needed to. The horse enjoyed an easy life, carrying only his master, while the poor donkey did all the hard work. One day, the washerman went to the village to collect clothes from people.
Hello, are there any clothes you want to give for washing today? Yes, I have. Thank you. Hello, how are you today? I am good, thank you. Do you have any clothes for washing? Yes, I am glad you came. We have too many guests today and excess laundry too. Don't worry, I will have them back in time. Thank you.
And so the washerman went from door to door collecting clothes for washing. Then he loaded everything onto his donkey.
We have a big job in front of us today. We have more clothes to wash than every other day. We'll have to hurry up.
As soon as he got the donkey loaded up, they started moving towards the river. The washerman decided to walk besides the horse and the donkey. But the load was too much for the donkey to carry, so he got very tired. When they were halfway through to the river, the washerman decided to stop to get some rest. He too was tired, having walked all the way instead of riding the horse as usual. That's when the donkey decided to talk to the horse. Horse, can you please help me? This load is too heavy to carry. Since the master is walking today and you have no burden to carry, can you take some of mine?
I am here to serve my master, not you. It's not my job to carry the load. It's yours and you alone must do it.
The donkey had no choice but to carry the burden of the clothes all alone. So he continued walking slowly when they resumed their journey. But after some time, the weight became too much for him and he collapsed. He tried to get up again but just couldn't.
Oh no! What's wrong with my donkey? Let me get his weight off him first.
The caring washerman removed the bags and bundles of clothes from the donkey.
Oh, these bags are very, very heavy. It was wrong of me to put them on the donkey alone. Now he is very tired. He will not be able to carry this burden anymore. I will put everything on the horse.
Saying so, he put all the bags and bundles on the back of the horse.
Let's give the donkey some rest today.
They started walking again towards the river. As they walked, the horse realized what a mistake he had made.
This is so heavy. I wish I had not been so selfish earlier. If I had shared the donkey's load when he asked me to, I wouldn't have to carry all this by myself. From now on, I will always share the burden.
So you see, Tofu, it's always more sensible to share the burden than to not help others.
Yes, I agree with you, Tia. In fact, if I help Kate out, we will be able to finish the work faster as well, and both will be free soon.
That's right, Tofu. So you see, sharing the burden of work has many advantages. You must go and help Kate out. Isn't that John and his older brother?
Yes, that's them.
Look at that. He is really troubling his brother.
Oh, I think John is in big trouble. I'm sure his brother is going to give him a big scolding.
I don't think so.
Why not? Didn't you see how he was troubling his brother? There is no way he's going to stop unless his brother scolds him.
Don't decide on that till you've heard the story of the wind and the sun. A long time ago, the wind and the sun were just talking when the wind said something strange to the sun. You do know that I am more powerful than you, don't you?
Don't be arrogant, my friend.
But the wind got offended. I am not being arrogant, I am being truthful. If you don't believe me, let's have a competition right now. The sun did not want to compete with his friend, but the wind left him with no choice.
Reluctantly, he agreed. Okay, my friend. Let's have a competition.
Just then, a young man was walking on the road below them. He was wearing a beautiful scarf and a handsome coat. See that man below? Whoever can get the scarf and the coat off him wins.
Okay, Wind, you go ahead first.
And so the wind blew at the man. The man's scarf moved a bit, and his coat front flapped a little. I was just beginning. I will show the man some more of my power now. Now the wind blew a little more strongly. The man's scarf and coat front started flapping more in the wind. The wind grew fiercer and blew more wildly at him. The man's scarf almost left him, but he caught it and tied it around his neck properly. The wind blew at the man with all his power and anger, but it only made the man wrap his scarf and coat around him more tightly. He started feeling so cold with the wind blowing at him that he wrapped his arms around his legs and sat down by the road. The wind failed to get his scarf and coat off. I have still not lost. If my power and anger couldn't do the job, you surely won't be able to do it either.
Let us see. I think you have frozen the poor man. Maybe he could use some warmth.
And so the sun gently smiled a bit at the man. Immediately, the man started feeling better. He straightened up and the color returned to his cheeks. He got up and started walking his way again. Is that it? Is that all you will do? Smile at him? The sun ignored his friend and smiled at the man a little bit more. The man became more comfortable and walked his way faster.
Watch what happens now.
Now the sun gave the man an even bigger smile. As the sun's smile grew bigger, the man started feeling warmer and warmer. Finally, he could take it no more and started sweating. He slowly took his scarf off. Oh no! At last, the sun's warmth became so much for the man that he took off his coat and flung it aside. The sun had won the competition. I am sorry. I underestimated the effect of gentleness. I thought only power could make things happen in the world, but I was wrong.
Oh, don't worry, my friend. Why don't you blow at him gently so his sweat can vanish?
The wind did so while the sun continued to smile at him lightly. The man went on his way enjoying a pleasant day.
Wow, Tia, that's a wonderful way to be with people.
Yes, there are better ways of changing things than a show of anger and power.
I'm so glad you are my elder sister, Tia. If ever I do something wrong, I know you will correct me without scolding me.
Well, looks like John also has a great brother. See, he's no longer troubling his brother.
For your favorite rhymes, stories, and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.